want to share, you know, I mean, from the reality of Puerto Rico, you know, I mean, the whole thing of being occupied. When we were captured, I like the word captured, not arrested, but when we were captured, you know, we confronted the system by adhering to the international laws, okay? And I said in the beginning, you know, that international law clearly states that colonialism is a crime. It's a crime against humanity. So for us, you know, the vision, you know, moving forward is, you know, to adhere toward international law. And what does it stipulate? That the United States will have to remove all of its military bases, okay? Remove all of its military bases, and it has to give us back our power. They have to get the hell out of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And the only people, you know, that can determine, you know, the future of Puerto Rico, it has to be us.
Yeah.
Any relevance of that, you know, arrogance of colonialism has to be dumped in the water. And may there be at that moment another Hurricane Maria, but above ground, and just move that all out. So for us, you know what I mean, once again, for somebody who was behind prison bars, you know what I mean, gave their backs to the system, you know, and giving the back was that there, at this stage, there was not any moment, okay, of negotiating this. So, and we stand, you know, particularly firm on that aspect. It has to be, you know, based on international law. And those international laws can definitely, you know, be carried through. But at the same time, you know, that's the bigger picture. And in Puerto Rico, I want to point out, you know, I mean, some of the things that have been happening. And there is, in the town of Adjuntas, you know, a home that's called Casa Pueblo. And Casa Pueblo came to be when back in the 80s, there was a government movement, you know what I mean, to begin to open pit mining, you know, the copper, the gold, and the silver. And there was like 17 different pockets. And it was not carried out. It was halted, you know, by a movement, you know what I mean, of local people. And local people who were able to venture outside of the homeland and coming into different areas of the United States and educating people as to what, you know, the plan was. It was called Plan 2020, and by the year 2020, what they wanted to establish were not only military bases, but industrial bases. And it was always the presence of the military, you know what I mean, watching over and making sure, you know, that these strip mines would take place. But it didn't happen. It did not happen. And Casa Pueblo began to evolve. And to this day, you know what I mean, not only do they prevent, you know what I mean, the strip mining of like 35,000 acres, but they're the guardians, okay? They are a community group of people, you know what I mean, that guard that beautiful land, okay, that virgin land. And within that, on that land, what they've been able to do is that they've developed a forest school. A forest school, okay? And it is the forest, you know what I mean, that's the experimental ground. And they have been able, you know what I mean, to draw in, you know, people who are agriculturalists, people who are interested in horticulture, people who are interested in you know, the study of insects. And they have a school, and the school is just not, you know what I mean, at a university level. It's at the level of youngsters, you know what I mean, where they can come in, I mean, and they can pique that level of curiosity and do investigative work. So it is Mama Nature, you know what I mean, that is teaching. And it is going down to that level. And it is a powerful level because it is our land and it's a reconnection. So, you know, Casa Pueblo has done that. There's another project that's called El País Posible. And El País Posible, you know, addresses a very important issue. And that is that now one person can purchase a huge plot of land. It's too much money, isn't it? But if a group of people come in with a vision, you know what I mean, of working the land collectively, then loans are more economical. I mean, and in País Posible, they were able to gather like 23 couples, and each couple took out a loan of $5,000, not from a regular bank, it was from a co-op. You know what I mean? A co-op, which has a different feel to it, you know what I mean? But it is the project of going back to the land from different aspects. You have youngsters who come out of the universities and go back to the land to farm. You know what I mean? The thing of you know, being able to harvest and go to a market, you know what I mean? What does that provide for us? It provides fresh products, okay? It provides fresh products. It's income that goes back into the economy of Puerto Rico. It doesn't, you know, it contributes and it provides jobs, okay? So the reason why I'm addressing this is because of the debt, you know what I mean? And the debt has forced, you know, a massive, you know, migration that's very harming. But at the same time, I think that there are some individuals who are thinking outside of the box and are realizing that they can develop a deeper, you know, relationship with the land. You know what I mean? That helps create, you know, a network within the community and within, you know, the you know, people, you know, from other towns. So again, it's the thing of going back to the most important thing, and that is the land.
This year marks the 70th anniversary of the occupation of Palestine. So the State of Israel was created May 15th, 1948. And the Arab and Palestinian community here in the Bay Area are planning activities and events to commemorate the colonization of Palestine and to honor the histories. And I say that because, you know, my father, my grandmother who lived through 1948, who remember it, that generation of people, they're moving on, and we're losing that oral history, those memories. And it takes a lot of work in this moment for us to continue to lift those stories and make sure we remember them. So I hope all of you will engage in some activities around the Nakba 70 of this year. And in one way that you can, and it's 70 years, it hasn't been that long, and we hope it won't last much longer. But that being said, everyone in this room can take part in a boycott, divestment, or sanction activity against the State of Israel to weaken Israel politically, economically, and culturally, to make it not acceptable for them to do business anywhere. And you have a particular obligation to do that right here in the United States. And also for all our white allies and others who get invited regularly to go visit Israel, paid by the Jewish Community Relations Council or the Anti-Defamation League, two Zionist organizations who want to propagate and normalize Zionism in the State of Israel and pay for these all-expense-paid trips to go visit Palestine and not see any of the horrors of occupation or the dispossession of indigenous land. Don't go, and make sure that you tell your friends not to go, and make public statements against those visits. Tell your politicians not to go, and for all our Jewish allies here who get invited on birthright trips, You might be a Jewish person from New York, or from Britain, or from Russia, and suddenly you have a birthright to my land and my ancestral home. You don't, so don't go. And we encourage you to make sure that Palestinians, like myself and my family, do get that right to return. And until we do, then that should be the litmus test in terms of when anyone else should have a right to be in Palestine.
That was amazing. Thank you. We are coming to the end of our panel, and I just, again, want to say that I think that there is so much gratitude in this room for the stories and the wisdom that you just shared. It was really moving, Corrina, the way that you started us off with a gift ceremony. And I was really struck by thinking about the gifts that the three of you just offered all of us in this room. Gifts of truth, gifts of hope and vision, of revolutionary vision, gifts of illuminating paths forward for how we can all align ourselves with decolonization, and really explicitly a decolonization that is about taking back land and power. And those gifts, it's like, Corrina, what you're saying about when we hear indigenous wisdom, we need to listen from the heart. And it is my hope that some of these stories and some of these gifts have landed in our hearts. So thank you again so much. It's beautiful.
Hi, everybody. Wow. I'm Ellen Brodsky, and like Michelle, I was one of the members of the leadership team, Braden leadership team, which helped pull together this panel today. I know our hearts are full. I want to thank everybody for coming out today to hear these amazing leaders. And I just want to make a couple of announcements. So these open session events are open to the community, but they're part of the Catalyst Project's and Braden anti-racist training program for white activists. And the participants in the 4-month training program come from all over the United States and Canada. And I just want you to know that you have all these people in the room with you. So we are not just from the Bay Area today. We are from all over the country and also Canada. And I think that's pretty cool and amazing. So, and then you have an opportunity to come to our next open session, which this is hard to beat, but we promise that it will also be really good, which will be on Black liberation. And you might want to save the date right now. It's going to be held on the afternoon of April 14th. So that's April 14th. Our open session is going to be on Black liberation, and I really encourage all of you to come. And there'll be publicity about it. And so to make sure that you don't miss the publicity about this and about other events having to do with local organizing and what Catalyst Project is doing, make sure that if you didn't already do so when you came in, that you sign up on the Catalyst sign-up list on your way out. So now, here comes the exciting part. I want to let you know that already through your generous donations, we raised $1,200 for the organizing work of our panel. The amazing work that they're doing. You heard it today. But it's not too late to make that $1,500. I would say let's make that how we align ourselves with decolonization today. Let's, on our way out, contribute a little bit more and bring it up to $1,500 today, in which case the organizations that these amazing women work with will have some money to do their work, have more money to do their work. We could give $500 to each organization. So here's a couple of ways you can share what we learned today with others, because not everybody can make it today. One is take your program that you have and give it to someone else so that they can also learn about and support the Segura Te Land Trust. Another way is, I believe it may be on KPFA at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. But keep an eye out for how you can share maybe portions of the panel or whatever with your friends who couldn't make it here today. Okay? And so 2 final announcements. If any of you can stay to help us put away the folding chairs, we would really appreciate it. It takes all of us to put these things on. And if you can stay, come see me and I can help you know what to do. I just want to let the Ann Braden participants know that we're going to reconvene in this room at 4:45. Okay? So be on time like we always have been. And for the rest of our beloved community, we are really, really glad and honored that you came to share this panel with us today. And we look forward to seeing you again at the next one on April 14th. So thank you very much. Thank you.